Greetings and welcome to episode 14 of my Empire Total War Darth mod Ottoman Empire campaign. And before we start, my friends, haven't been to the Ottoman Empire campaign in quite a while, but there's been a number of calls in the last couple of weeks for us to bring that back. A number of people have been missing it. And I too have always enjoyed this campaign because of the challenge it presents. It really is a huge challenge, and it's something that I want to really continue. So I'm going to probably see an increase of the regularity of this campaign, because I enjoy it as well, and I hope you do as well, my friends. But as we continue this campaign, and my word, what a campaign it is. Now, as you may not have gathered, my friends, we are in a little bit of a tussle here with the Austrians. Now, the Austrians don't have a massive empire, but my word, they really are packing some powerful troops. Let's have a look at what I mean here. Look at that. I mean, we look at Swiss Line, Swiss Grenadiers, Marines, Hungarian Grenadiers. Look at the Royal Hungarian Line Infantry. They really are absolutely packed to the rafters here with some elite troops. There are a majority of their armies. I mean, look at this. Point in case. Look at this. I mean, look, they're absolutely putting some incredible troops into the field here. Although the production of them has, or shall I say, the amount they're able to put into the field has slowed significantly. Look what they've got outside Belgrade here. Considerable army here. We do have this army here. Look at that. I mean, that is something to behold. We've even got Riskers of Souls, and Riskers of Souls, you may think, well, man, they're a melee unit. These have single-handedly turned a number of battles for us. They are incredibly brave, and to the point where they don't break. Sometimes they won't break at all. They will actually fight to the very last man, and that can put the real fear into your enemy. And also, if the enemy can't break them, it does enable you to hold up their lines quite substantially if they're used in the right manner. But our main force is here. Look at this. Really is our elite troops here. Look at that army there. That is something to behold. Royal Mamluk Guards, my friends. Absolutely wonderful. We are behind the many of the Western nations in terms of our technology and our infrastructure. Our roads were in a shambolic state when we first took over the empire. And indeed our trade was in the doldrums. Our armies were bereft of many of their resources, and indeed had very limited troop numbers, and indeed the quality of the troops weren't of the finest. We had to rely on the sheer quantity, in other words, overwhelming our enemies with troops and the numbers we had there to try and bring ourselves into some kind of parity with them. But now we're starting to sort of reap the benefits here of the huge infrastructure sort of program. The council, remember, the council has installed this sort of infrastructure program where they have said, Mala, you need to invest at least over half of your money every single year into infrastructure, so that you have that sort of equilibrium, that fine balance between military spending and infrastructure spending. So what you spend, say for example, we recruit 2 units of infantry, then that has to be offset by some kind of income boost or some kind of building or infrastructure building work that will effectively pay for those units in the long run. So we've got that as I said, that fine equilibrium between the two here we have to find. Now at the time we have, but the Austrians really have set us back on our feet. We mustn't rose tint this at all. We are in a difficult situation because the Austrians are starting to push out some very fine armies. Indeed, their aggression could push us to a war that decide the empire. These are the units we've got here. We don't have anything else apart from these forces here that are making their way back to the west. They're going to Istanbul, then they'll be moved into here to sort of plug the gap here. But even then, this army is not of the finest, as you can see here. So this might have to be retrofitted over time. We've also got this cannon as well being sent to Istanbul. We've sort of effectively abandoned this frontier. The only sort of bastion of military force we have here is this army here, which is exemplary. It really is. We've got this army here in Baghdad, but the only reason we've got this army in Baghdad is because it is the only sort of major city we have within, a couple of 100 miles of the coast here. So we've got to keep this. Our trade is booming at the moment. That is something I wouldn't mind to get an alliance with the Persians, because that really would set us. We are very friendly with them. We can't get an alliance, see, because they're allies with the Austrians. That's the reason why. I'm not sure they've got... Yeah, they've got a lot of technology, but we could try and gain some technology from them. I wonder if we give them these, we can try and upgrade... Try and get some great estates with this. Selective breeding. I would like to increase our farming yield if possible. No, they're not interested at all. We are very friendly with them, so we're going to take the risk that we are going to sort of, they are going to leave us alone. As you can see, we've got a huge trade income here with the Marathans as well. I believe we've got trade with Persia, but I'm not. Yes, we do have trade with Persia, and actually plus 101 here. Excuse me, my friend. So that really does put us on an even footing with them. Friendly with Mexico as well, which is good. Barbary states were hostile with the Barbary states because, of course, we broke the alliance with them. We just couldn't take the risk. They were dragging us down diplomatically, at least. We've got trade with all the major nations here, and we've also got the trade nodes. I believe we've got a quite. Have we got? We have indeed. We've got quite a bit moving in and out of the trade nodes here. We have to be wary though of any Russian involvement here, but we have luckily managed to secure a good swathe of the trade in and out of these coasts. Apart from here, this is where we're lacking in the Ivory Coast. There's Austria here. We have Mexico, 13 colonies, and France. But I think one of these nodes is actually free, but we can't do that because Austria would simply move in and dismantle any trade we had here. We do have 2 here as well. I'm not sure we've got coming out of here. Crimea Khanate, Venice, and Ottoman Empire. We're just going to stick with what we've got here. We don't want to become too greedy, and we don't actually achieve anything at all. That can be our own doing. There's nothing in here. We do have trade with the 13 colonies, which is substantial as well. Trade with Louisiana, and indeed trade with, as you can see, Mexico here, which have sprung up from revolution. We have nothing in here at all, but maybe at some point we can move into the Leeward Islands. That would be an absolute boon. And of course the Marathans, who are the masters of the subcontinent here. And we have a trade with them. We certainly secured a trade agreement with these because the income from that and the potential trade for the future, as soon as they build up all of their infrastructure and apparatus, really would be vast, especially in Mysore here with all these wonderful sort of gem fields they've got here and mineral wealth. And as you can see, they are not small by any means here, but they are trading with Russia. But again, that's not our concern. Our concern is trying to guard our borders, particularly in the west. So we've got to be careful what we're doing here. We've got these 2 very powerful armies here, but we might just set an army. This army here might just be set in the middle here, just so we can defend either way. Then we've got these 2. This army, of course, will need replenishing. We might use this army here as in here, just to give us that balance here between what we've got, so we can move in either to the east or to the west, depending on what happens. So we might just put these gentlemen here, and we'll just move these. I think we'll move these into the. We'll have these gentlemen here as the reserve behind. So this army here is going to be the sort of the combat army that will defend Sarajevo. We've then got this army here that can intervene should these gentlemen strike against us. We'll just move. Well, we can't at the moment. They'll probably be struck here, but it'll drag in one of our most elite units. But there's little else we can do here. The trade is still flowing here from Poland. We do have trade with Poland and peace with Poland. I think we just might send our imam here into Austrian. Or will he be needed in there? What's the... Yeah, we're trying to increase here. We'll just wait till that increases here, but what's the... We could stir up some religious unrest. That really would help us. As you can see, we've got to try and hold these forward lines. We don't have any depth, strength and depth at all. That's the reason why we're bringing these armies back. At the council's behest as well. Hopefully we can retrofit some of this army. We can move some of these forces out and have another elite army in here, but it's going to cost us. We don't have a great deal of income, 7,231, despite the massive trade we have here. And we might, the reason why is that because our trade has been absolutely hit hard here. We've got Prussia that has been cut off, Sweden's been cut off from us, Savoy's been cut off, and the United Provinces have been cut off. So that's because of the wars in the west. We've been hit here. Luckily, we've established quite a lot of trade with our sort of a lot of trade partners. We might just increase the tax here, so we can at least get something coming in here. But just make sure that doesn't affect our growth in any way. It hasn't, thankfully. Mind you, that's going to affect that there in Belgrade. Unfortunately, that's going to suffer. Population growth is going to suffer here. So that's a little bit of a shame. Probably because we've got the enemy here as well on our doorstep, but that doesn't help either. But it's not affecting anywhere else, I don't believe. Oh, it's not, thankfully. None of these here. No, so we've increased that there, so that should... We've got Cairo as well, with Alexandria here, which we're hoping to make into a major port. But of course, we've got to try and make all of these a commercial port eventually. Now, as you can see, our research is way behind when it should be. We have got NISAM, though, European Doctrine Research, but we're trying to get down into reorganised procurement to get us the Army Visitorate. Because that will then give us the ability to actually recruit NISAM-setted infantry, which are going to be the sort of the backbone of our army eventually. That will give us a gunnery school as well. We don't have any 24-pounders yet either, and our naval research is lagging behind. We're trying desperately to try and get as much as we can here done. We'll have to try and get selective breeding and get these great estates, because we do have a lot of farm. But I think that's all we can do at the moment. We can only hope that the Austrians are going to sort of gather their wits here. They might even strike against us here with this force they've got here. If they do, we will move against them with this force here. But we're going to sort of keep this one in reserve just to strike, depending on where the Austrians strike. If they try and move against us here, we will move against them and try and throw them back. We did have Zagreb for a while. We did hold Zagreb. It was sort of an uneven front. We held this part. Well, we had Belgrade, so it was almost at a sort of uneven, sort of almost a half moon here we had here. But it wasn't reinforceable. We didn't have enough reserves in the back of us to really hold Croatia. Because as you can see, the Austrians have got a major city right next to Croatia. They are able to produce and recruit forces far, far quicker than we are. Our nearest is Istanbul. And as you can see, that's a long, long way away. But as you can see, we're at war with Russia, but we're at peace with Poland, and Britain seems to have got itself lodged in Königsberg here as well. West Prussia is at least holding its own here. Denmark, we're allied with Denmark. We can only hope that... I'm not sure if... Sweden, I beg your pardon. Denmark. Sweden, I beg your pardon. And I believe Sweden are at war with Russia. They are. Yes, that might take the gaze off there. We're going to end the turn here, my friends, and see what comes our way. France is hostile. I wonder if we can get a peace treaty here. No, they're not interested at all, which is fair enough. I don't think we can get a peace treaty with Austria either. I wonder if we get a peace treaty with Austria. I don't think they will accept that. We also try and give them these two here. No, they're not interested at all. It looks like they want to try and take one of these or even both of these. We'll have to stand firm. Got 8,692 with the increase here. If we increase attack tax of the nobility, the ministers are performing excellently well here. They really are. We do have some wonderful candidates here. Luckily we're an absolute monarchy, which means we can move them around as we see fit. Let's end the turn, my friends, and see what happens here. As you can see down here, we are built Britain. We just want some respite here from the war with Austria. Will we get it? I highly doubt it. Now they're moving back. Have they... Look at this, they're going to start moving. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Into the fort. So it looks like they're going to make a move against us here. We've got to be prepared here. We have to be prepared for this. Poland. And Russia. Reading the trade lines, leave it alone, sir. Sweden, what will Sweden be doing? If only Sweden would be able to take the fight further to Russia. Crimean Khanate are doing well. Venice are... Oh, look at that. Is that the end of the Barbary States? Possibly. Quite possibly the end of the Barbary States there. Indeed. Barbary States gone. We shan't shed a tear, but as you can see here, they're starting to put together some forces here. But again, all of their forces, not all of them, but some of these forces here are suffering from a good amount of attrition. They move in against us here. So they've held off here. That's more like it. Maybe somebody has come back on trade. Indeed they have. I believe Sweden has come back on here. 13 colonies have come back as well, which is excellent to see. We need to upgrade some of our ports as well here. We've got to invest. Now it looks like they're going to start moving towards here, so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're within striking distance here of being able to defend this. Because if they want that fight, then we will oblige, sir. Now we've got to invest. Oh, look at that in Greece, wonderful. As you can see, we're desperately trying to get these ports up and running here. Iron workshop here. Getting plus 600 to wealth. So we've got to put our. We're trying to adjust our to make sure we got our internal economy running at full pelt as well. In Egypt here as well. It's going to cost us. What we've got here, 460. Now if we could invest in that there. Now Egypt would open up a tremendous amount here for us. Cairo Janissaries as well. Look at that. Wow. We could definitely do with some Cairo Janissaries. That would be absolutely fantastic. Great arsenal. What we do need to do is invest in a great arsenal to get the 24 pounders here. But we're also going to have to invest in a trade route. We've got that. They've increased this here. We need to invest in one of these here that's going to increase. So that's being here in Beirut. I think we'll make Alexandria. Oh no, actually we'll make Heraklion here, one of our major ports. So as you can see, we've had to sort of increase. We've had to sort of spend on our army, but also our infrastructure as well. Where is that? There it is. We'll send this gentleman up to here. We've got to reinforce these armies here. And also send these gentlemen as well as quickly as possible through to here. We're trying with all our might here to stretch our resources as far as they'll go. But if we can get this army up to here and help against the Austrians, we've got a chance of holding out here. But we need to retrofit this army. It might be an army we have to throw into the battle effectively and just use the sheer numbers. But some of them are battle hardened, as you can see. Some of them are veterans, but it's what comes out of the fight that's going to quite clearly take place here. They're going to head for Bosnia. And now look at that, it's gone down here, so we're going to have to... And the reason it's gone down is because they're on our territory. So it's affecting growth. Yes, indeed. That's fine. We shall take the hit there. Ottoman Empire here as well, but we are okay with the town. We're at peace with the Venetians as well. which is good because we've got plenty of trade going in out of there. Is Poland at war with Austria? No, they're trade partners. What about Russia? No, Russia's fine there. We've got Sweden here as well, who haven't really added anything to this at all. I just wish Sweden would do something here and move against St. Petersburg or Karelia. That would really put the Russians on the back foot there. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. We can't do anything else. We are on the defensive at the moment. Hopefully we can get these forces up here as quickly as possible. Will they reach in time? I'm not 100% sure. Also, we'll put some ships as well into production. Get a sloop here so we can send it to the trade lines. Try and get every single coin we can out of every single possible potential. Look at that! Oh, look at that! Britain's gone right for Russia there. Get every single coin we can. Oh, well done, Britain. Well done, sir. France. This is... Oh, there it is. Now, do we intercept here and take the fight? Because that would be a brutal... Do we try and... Mind you, they're gonna support each other here. If we take this fight, it's going to put us on the back foot because it's going to effectively drain all of our forces here. No, we're not going to take that fight just yet. But they're going to try and surround us here. Prussia. Don't do it, Russia. Don't do it. Don't do it. And you've done it. And you've done it. Port security. The council has always said to me about port security. What happens? I leave the ports open, and there you go. We've now had one of our trade routes cut off. We've got to be vigilant all the time. If we could get Persia involved in some of these wars. Ooh. Oh, the Crimean Khanate. Working against Poland here. Yes, excellent. Look at that, Anatolia. Wonderful. Riflemen. And again, they're going to be sent up to here. We've got to get these forces into here. I'm going to send them up to here.
March! Efendim! Sola marş! Evet! İleri marş!
Got to maintain our discipline here.
Hazırlanın! Marş! Hazırlanın! Marş!
I'm going to send these forces up here. Now, of course, Russia has hit this trade line here. We shall send these gentlemen here, push them out. We can also do with that there as well.
Hazırlanın! Marş!
And here as well. Now, we don't have any. We're going to have to recruit someone here. Ooh, look at that. Look at the forces we can recruit here. I'm not sure if they'll make it out of here, but we have to give it a go here. That's a shame. High port. Now that would put a huge bonus on our tax income from the region here, but we can't really afford to invest that just yet. there anything else we can invest in terms of our economic power? I think we're gonna have a fight here between these two armies are quite clearly mustering here towards. That's a fishing port. That's fine there. Dockyard. Now we could get some naval forces up and running here as well. To be honest, do we need another port here? Probably a shipyard would be better for us here, but a dockyard here would enable us to at least get some fifth rates. And some fourth rates. Again, do we have the money to really have a navy at the moment? No, we don't. What we are wanting is, got 3,962 here. Can we invest behind the lines here? Investing where we can, when we can. I think we'll get ourselves some more musketeers and some more Israelis here as well, because we've got to reinforce this army here that's moving up with much better troops. But we are in trouble. This could be a battle par excellence here. It really could. Looks like they're going to try and move in and take Bosnia here with these very powerful forces here. But if we can damage these forces, it would put them right on the back foot.
Sola marş. Efendim, emirleriniz? Hazırım. Efendim, emirleriniz? Majesteleri?
So they come for us. It'll definitely do some damage to them, but we've got 5,800 here. Why is the trade gone down there again? Because the Marathans have been cut off now. From where? Who's hit the Marathans? Ah. Ah, of course, because Damascus has been hit. That's had a direct knock-on effect here. Because Damascus has been hit, that's the reason why. We could deal with them, but we've got to maintain support security here. Let's end the turn, see what happens. We are dicing here with we're dicing with death, let's be honest here. France. It's good to see Britain though taking on Russia, because it means Russia's going to have problems moving through those straits there. We won't take that fight, we'll allow them to go past. Now that's going to give us time to get that extra army up. It looks like they haven't done anything here yet. The Austrians. Russia. They're moving away. They come for us, and they're going to. Yes, of course, they're going to come for the Greek. We're going to get rid of that Russian fleet there. We're going to have to get rid of them, because they're going to start harassing us. Thankfully, we've got the British dealing with them in terms of not. Oh, come on now, Sweden! You've got to do something here, sir. Come on, where's the Crimea Mechanic? Yes, well done, sir. Look at that. Wonderful to see. Well done, Crimea Mechanic. I thought they would be good allies of ours, and they have been indeed. That's fine. They'll be taking a little bit of it there, but still got money coming in, which is the most important thing.
Evet lordum. Marş. Tedarik arayın. Marş.
We're not going to allow the Austrians to just be able to do whatever they want. 13,000 from there. Excellent. Oh, 15,000 from there. Wonderful, sir. Can we get our ship? Looks like we'll be able to make it out into the wider world. We're just trying to sneak through as many ships as we possibly can before any is ever closed off. We're at peace with the knights there. I think we might start increasing our trade fleet. A sloop here as well, and a sloop here to try and offset and increase our trade fleet. I think it's important we invest in that. We've got 3295. I think it's important we also start to retrofit this army here. Now that we've got the great arsenal being put together as well. High port's going to cost us 6,000. We won't have that just yet. Got the Royal Mamelukes here. What do we have in terms of cavalry here? Got Mamelukes, and I think some cavalry would probably be. I think musketeers as well. We'll have a hand mortars and grenadiers as well. If we're going to retrofit them, let's do a proper job here. Let's really have some. Let's have them packing a bit of punch here. If we can upgrade our forces while we wait for the Austrians to do whatever they're doing. Then so be it, sir. That's a very strong army there. But they've divided their forces here, where ours are compact.
Hazırım ve emirlerinizi bekliyorum.
What we could do is just bring this gentleman here. This army, we might just make this army, put this army in here, and then we'll use these forces we're putting together here. We'll then form into this from this army here. We'll create another army in here, which will strike against the Austrians should they decide to move against us. We'll get this iron workshop up and running as well, and also these mines here as well. Get them all running up to full speed. There's not really much point at the moment. 15,000 here. Look at our tax income. Gone up to 10,000 here. Good to see. Our trade has increased as well. Because we've invested in these ports. The ports have seen us. Thankfully, we've got these gentlemen out there as well in the waters. Once that's done as well, we should see a huge boost here from Heraklion. Let's end the turn, my friends. Britain, France. Austria, they're going to, yes, they're going to, yeah, of course they're going to hit Greece. Of course they're going to hit Greece. Cutting off one of our major trade ports. Will we see the Crimean Khanate coming to our aid again? Persia seem to be moving away from the border, which is good for us. Which means hopefully, but Oh, come on. Come on. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. Okay. I have no idea why they declared war upon us. Not a clue. But now you see why I left that where it was, this army here. We just don't have anything in this area at all to compete with this. We are really going to struggle here.
Emirleriniz için hazırız. İleri marş. Efendim, emirleriniz? İleri marş. Hazırım ve emirlerinizi bekliyorum.
Well, it is what it is, so it looks like we're going to have to do something here. That probably means sending this army back. Or reinforcing this army somehow to deal with this.
Denizler bizim. Emirleriniz? Yelken açın. Gemi emirleriniz?
Right, repairing them. That's open. Whew. Right. Expert Persia. That's excellent. -1 to morale in battle, so. Now, why has Persia declared war upon us? We were doing absolutely fantastic with them. I just don't understand why they would do that. Why would you want Serbia? Why would you want Serbia? Just doesn't make any sense at all. No, no chance. So, it looks like we're going to have to send this army back. No, through Istanbul. And the forces we're putting together here will have to be moved into an army that's going to have to defend this area here. Mind you, they outnumber us significantly. We are going to have to put some additional forces in here, I believe. Got plenty of guns, we've got plenty of troops here. But we do lack that depth here, unfortunately. I think we are going to struggle here, especially with the Persians moving against us as well. We've pretty much committed to the western front here. And there's going to be a real brutish fight here to try and keep this. And they've moved right behind us here, this army. We've got to be careful where they're going. Otherwise we have to send an army in to deal with them. And in fact, I think that's what we might just do anyway. We might send an army in here to deal with these, because they've isolated themselves, which is what we want. We can dismantle this army here. We'll send this army back through here. But I think what we'll do is we'll deal with this army here. what we're going to do is we'll send this army in here
Emirleriniz için hazırız.
and to deal with them. They've effectively isolated themselves here. We can destroy this army and then rebuild this army up. It really would put us on a firm footing. I think that's what we'll do. Let's move in and take the fight here.
Birlikleri savaşa hazırla.
Okay, we outnumber them almost 2-1 here. But they have elite troops. Very, very elite troops indeed. The only ones that have taken any sort of beating here is Horse Grenadier Guards, but even then they've got 2-3 regiments of Dragoons, Horse Grenadier Guards. They are absolutely packed to the rafters here with some wonderful troops. So we're going to have to really fight this battle incredibly carefully here. We can't be throwing all these troops into the battle. They aren't a match for these just yet. Mind you, their morale is high, but the morale of these is even higher. Look at that, 10, 11 for the Marines. So we use our cavalry advantage here to our as best we can. We've got plenty of guns, which they don't have. We've also got the Riskers of Souls, whose morale is 14. So if we can use them in a proper way, then we will see ourselves okay here. But we have to try and dismantle the Austrians bit by bit and also deal with the Persians. For some reason, I don't know why the Persians have decided, but I think probably Austria are behind it. They've probably pushed the Persians into that fight with that war with us, which means we've got to divert forces back to the war, to Ankara, which is going to be a real problem for us. But we will deal with it as best we can here. We're not going to yield, but my word, it's a difficult campaign, this is, it really is. But my friends, this is going to be a fight we're going to take for next episode. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I apologise for the shortness of this episode, but there will be another episode where we'll be taking this fight against the Austrians. We will not allow them to walk over us, and they will see a fight every single inch of the way here, and that includes the Persians. If the Persians want to fight, then we will divert an army back. We will spend the money we need to put an army together in Ankara to defend Ankara and indeed to defend Baghdad. They will see us standing our ground at every possible turn. But my friends, I'm going to end this here. Whatever you're doing, please be safe, my friends. And until then, and also please keep your comments coming down below. As always, the council's help and advice is crucial, particularly in this campaign, because it really is a brutally difficult campaign, this one. But until next time, my friends, bye for now.